Oh man, we're all crooked. We're not going to be able to find any real flat ground here. I'm going to have to jimmy this a little bit. I have carp bait, double hook rig worm, carp bait. Let's try to change this. Get this propped up somehow. Try to change this angle. How do we prop it up? Prop it up on a empty box of night crawlers. Hey, that's not bad. Scooch the chair back. Okay, so you may hear running water. That's behind us. That's the spillway. And this is a channel that feeds out into the reservoir. So I try to catch them on their way in and out, hopefully with their mouths open and, you know, dumb or hungry, hungry and dumb. I mean, let's face it, that's what I want. So I did call Kristen. I totally forgot. She was taking a half-hour lunch today, so that way she can be off work sooner, so that way we can get Lauren ready for her t-ball game. So it wasn't just an attempt to fun hate upon me fishing. It was just, hey, I only have a half hour to do something for lunch. But yesterday morning, as I sometimes do, I made a Sam's run to get some items before we went fishing with Spencer, and I happened to remember to get some Black Forest ham. So she has bread, she has ham, she has sliced cheese choices. She can make a sandwich real quick. Let the dog out, change the laundry, whatever it may be inside that half hour. So I have not destroyed anybody's lunch. And quite frankly, I'm not really even all that hungry myself. So it would be different if I also were hungry, but I'm not. Sometimes I'll fish further down the bank over here and then actually fish the lake before it comes into this little channel that goes back to that spillway. But you never know. I threw the left rod, which we'll call 1. I threw number 1 out there, out in the middle. I threw number 2, kind of just in a middle placement here. And then this one that's closest, I actually threw a little bit closer to the far bank. I oftentimes see carp matriculating around the far bank, so hopefully we've got at least a good starting point. We can give this a shot, see how it's going. What's up, Stan? Yep, we got our second location giving fishing a try today, because let's face it, it's all I want to do every day. We were in our first spot for an hour and a half and didn't get anything, so we made a little move. Technically, I'm still at the same reservoir. This is just where the spillway for Big Creek Lake feeds into the reservoir. See a lot of people fish here for multi-species. You know, that running water. They love that running water. And the cool part is most none of them are fishing for what I'm fishing for. So they can target their other species at the same time as I do. Yep. I'm uncertain if I get away from those little annoying fish like the bluegill that kept stripping the night crawler off of the hooks at the other location. I did happen to grab the wrong rod out of the truck, which, you know, that'll happen when you got like 14 rods in the back of your truck. But I did put a double hook rig on this one. And I was kind of excited because, again, it has the tactical green Okuma Samar on it. I really like the look of that reel. Cast King Spartacus 2 came out in a Spartan green. And not that I'm green crazy by any means, but let's face it, when every other reel like this one comes out in black and red, I mean, you got different colored rods. You want to look good. That's the number one rule. You know, make ourselves look good. We may not fish all that well, but we're gonna have good looking equipment. So black and red may match just about everything, but it doesn't match everything. So a nice tactical green sure goes nicely on some different rods. That's for sure. Uh-oh. Lee Evans is live. Just checking in. Heck, if I'd have known Lee was going to go live, I would have just gone live on his channel. That way I got someone I could even talk to on the panel. I don't know, this number 2 with the worm on it, it took a couple little hits here. One before we started, one after. Yep, there's a little annoying fish, so that proves it. There are definitely still little fish in here. But hey, big fish got to eat something. Well, now they got some options down there. Oh, did you see that? Nice little strike, probably from something so small it can't take the hook. I'm further away from my truck, so no, I cannot go and get a bait rod. I don't know that I have the items in there to switch up either, so gotta go with what we got. Where art thou, fishy fishy? Yeah, I don't know how deep this is. I know every now and then people drive their boats up in here. That's pretty annoying. Whoa, hello. Hello, number 2 rod. Yes. Yes, we see you. Whatever you are small but mighty. Hopefully something bigger will try to eat you and accidentally get our hook at the same time. Oh, yeah, there's a nice little jumper. Didn't see what you were. If you go down there and attach yourself to the hook, I will. Yeah, there was this one really funny moment last night uh, when we were fishing with Spencer. My nephew Isaac said, "Can we just like go and catch a bass?" And Trish, his mom, me, his uncle, Spencer, and Lauren all looked over at him and didn't say a word. And he looked at Spencer and he's like, "What?" He's like, "Sorry, man. It's just kind of like an inside joke on the boat, you know." That was funny. We did talk a lot about bass. You know, right now, even I wouldn't care if one of them happened to hit the line. You know, it is what it is. And it would be something. I mean, sure, I'd prefer a carp. Something's hitting rod one. I'd prefer a carp or a catfish. Or a carp and a catfish. Come on, Trish, I even stood up. I'm so excited and desperate for a catch. Well, cleaned one off. Didn't get them both. I don't mind getting worms or paying for worms or whatever, but man, I bet the last 3 boxes of them that I've used have all gone to the exact same situation as we're facing here. Me having too big of a hook for whatever it is that's taking it. Good Lord. Little. never know. Might get lucky. Can't not try. What I'm here for. Here to try. I heard some bird or something down there. I got an idea. Well, let's see. Now we got a rod that's positioned way down there, one that's down there, and one that's closer. So now we're probably fishing our 3 rods, maybe at least 30 yards apart from each other. So it's different. It's different. I don't know. The second one looks a little slack. I don't like fishing all that slack line. But that's what I get for messing with it. Pretty quiet, pretty calm. It's a bunch of dead catfish, or I should say pieces of catfish, up the bank. Somebody had obviously caught and cleaned a couple channel cat. Looked like they were probably like 3-4 pounders. Yeah, it's pretty cloudy, that's for sure. Saw you were just on doing a little check-in. If I'd have known you were going to be on, Lee, I'd have begged you for a link so that way I could have fished on your channel. But anyway, glad you're here. Hope you're having a good day. We have not yet hooked up with anything, and I'm feeling pretty lazy today. Definitely feeling the effects of having been out on the boat. Yep. I know it can't be easy keeping up with the granddaughter now that she is mobile as can be. Yep. That's what my boss, my last manager, always told me. He said, don't teach him how to walk and don't teach him how to talk. Because after that, the rest of your life, you're going to be telling them to sit down and hush up. So he was right. Seems like we're always in a rush to grow up as kids, but then you get older and you realize, don't do that. Try to enjoy it. Goes by too quick anyway. So as per usual, here we are. We are looking for something hungry, something maybe on a little bit of the dumb side. There was a guy walking up the bank when I was walking down the bank here, and he saw my springs to put my pack bait on, and he's like, that's the way to do it, throw out like a bait ball. And I didn't correct him or tell him what it actually was. Who cares? If he wants to, he can find it. And, so I just told him, I said, I'm looking for something big and dumb. And he was funny. He's like, we just met, but don't be calling me big and dumb. He was a big dude, so it was funny. Earlier, I had mentioned that I had stopped at Casey's General Store, and I mentioned that they make real good pizza there. Well, I had stopped for some Gatorade. I can't remember if I'd mentioned or not that I ran into my friend Nate. Because there I am just standing there, and then someone touches me, and I'm like, who's that? Yep. I kind of forgot that that would be a nice little shortcut way for him to head up to the new facility that they're working on from his house. I just stopped at that Casey's because if I didn't, then I'd have to go past the first spot that I tried to fish to get to a Casey's. So then it wouldn't even be an option for me to fish it. So usually I just try to bring a big old cup full of tea so that way I can just enjoy my tea, but didn't have it, so I had to stop, got some Gatorade. We had a couple little nibbles since we got here, but we definitely need somebody to step up, be a little bit more exuberant about their lunch than this, folks. Yeah, there's a comment up there a ways. I think it was John Boy said that I needed to target more catfish than carp. And I got to tell you, you're right. I totally forgot to bring any bait to cut up for catfish on this one, but that's what happens, you know. You wake up, you're just not all really there. You start packing your bag and stuff and get yourself organized. I had things in a couple different sacks or whatnot from having fished yesterday with River Certified. So, yep, I am definitely a disorganized mess. But then again, you never know what might take a worm. So we still have that as an option. Double hook rig option on the Whisker Seeker rod. I mean, these two have carp bait on them. I'm using a standard cornmeal dough ball as my pack bait. Both of them have pop-up boilies. One is coconut and white in color. The other one is pineapple, and it is bright yellow in color. They have without a doubt been the two most effective boilies that I've used. A close third was a Banana Supreme. That was a good flavor. Yep. I want to say maybe, I don't know, 3 years ago. No, it's probably longer than that. 6 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. Because there for the longest time I figured, oh man, we're having kids. These will probably be the last rods that I ever buy. So I bulked up on carp stuff and everything, and then I realized that I just had to do it differently, try to focus on different things, and everything would be all right. But yeah, what was that? Rod Hutchinson Banana Supreme. That was a good one. Ran out of those. Most of the boilies that I make right now are made by Nash Fishing. Don't know if they're based out of England or not, but certainly they're popular over there. So, strange thing about this location, I swear the wind is completely opposite of where I just was, and I thought that the wind would be coming in here, and it's actually going out. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but I just know it's a thing. So, oh yeah, banana is a real serious thing for real serious flavor for carp fishing. And there's some locations around here that really pride themselves on their banana splits, restaurants and such. So I don't know. I guess restaurants pride themselves on anything. You know, best burger, best tenderloin, best Philly cheesesteak, best banana split, best tiramisu. That is definitely a competition here in Iowa. I guess in Iowa there really isn't much to do, so we definitely take our eating seriously. Every year, though, the Des Moines Register puts a list up of the best tenderloins in the state. And one year, I decided that I would try to eat some of them. And then, just out of the blue, my cousin and her family live in a smaller town in north central Iowa, and the drive-through in their smaller town won tenderloin of the year, best tenderloin in the state that year. And I have eaten 2 or 3 different locations that have been best tenderloin in the state, and that one was without a doubt the best. I mean, it wasn't even close. Okay, so we got carp jumping behind us. Come on, go out there and find those baits. Free lip piercings. Free lip piercings. Step up. Usually say you can't be first, but you can be next. Well, you can be first today. Are breaded pork tenderloins a big deal in any of your states? Because that is a big deal here in Iowa. You want to have the best burger in town, you want to have the best tenderloin in town, and then you take it statewide after that. Yeah, Uncle Lou, Jethro's is good, and I think Smokey D's makes a better tenderloin than Jethro's does. Jethro's probably tops theirs better because they put pulled pork and bacon and melt cheese and all sorts of stuff and put it on theirs. You know, if I didn't have people here to talk to on live, this would be about the time I'd fall asleep. I'd wake up, hear that drag peeling. And we have a little red-winged blackbird over here. He's quite loud. Still nothing. Yeah, thanks, Dan. I'm holding some hope too. Surely there has to be one dumb, hungry one out there. Man, Uncle Lou, got some bad weather for the walleye trip. That didn't work out. Oh, nothing doing yet. MT, we had a couple little taps. We had some sort of small fish clean the worm off of one of these hooks, and other than that, no real legitimate takedown or nibble. So let's move some stuff around. Oh, hello. Yep. We're here for you, fish. You don't care if you're 3 pounds, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 30 pounds. Let's do it. What's up, gato? times did that fish jump right by me? Funny, but it's not funny. But it's funny. Yeah, I threw rod one back there over by where Mr. Jumpy Jump keeps going. So, the cool part about being 14 minutes behind on a video, Dan, is you didn't miss anything. That's also the sad part, but yet the same part. So, yeah, there's Mr. Jumpy Jump. Mr. Jumpy Jump needs to turn into Mr. Eat Something. This is one of those things about fishing that I don't know how everybody else feels about it, but I think it's definitely a good topic. Do you ever feel like you're constantly picking the wrong locations or the wrong time or the wrong time and the wrong locations? I mean, I know it's only wrong if it is wrong. And I know that even the most suboptimal conditions can actually produce or could actually produce tremendous results. And I don't want to act like curses really exist. But sometimes you just think that you zigged when you should have zagged, you know? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. See, now I don't feel that way usually whenever I make a tackle purchase. Because it's like you can always figure out, well, maybe this isn't going to be quite the rod that I thought I would use in this specific scenario. Or maybe you figure out that the rod is just incredible in so many more scenarios than you even imagined. Or maybe the reel is a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller than you had anticipated because you ordered it and you hadn't seen one yet. But yes, definitely that too. Bait is a huge thing. And like I said earlier, I walked out the door and I didn't bring any bluegill with me, and I happen to not have any shad right now. And another thing that is usually really effective in these waters is shrimp. And I don't happen to have any of that, or I would be eating it. Probably Cajun shrimp Alfredo, because I like that spice. And we've had a very strange last couple weeks of weather too. Last week, for instance, it was high 80s, mid 90s, Sunday through Thursday. And then it went down into like the 80s and down into the 70s over the weekend. And then yesterday, back up to about 80. I want to say the wind changed directions probably like 3 out of the last 5 days. So that definitely is a big problem. Definitely is a big problem. But pistachios, I have heard that those are delicious and that some people very much enjoy them. I'm not a huge fan. They're okay. Cool part about fishing though is we can always make it more fun for ourselves. I have a very specific rule that I live by, and that is if I take fishing rods out and they don't catch fish, then they don't get to fish the next time. So, whoa, there's an interesting thing. Swamp broth. Yeah, I'm from the central states, and I'm pretty suburban. So, I'd still eat that though. Oh, yeah. Having that feeling too, because there was like a bug on me. And once there's like a bug that crawls on me, then I like, my skin feels like there's always bugs crawling on me. I hate that feeling. A little weird. What's up, Dave? Chris, I'm sure you do have a very specific set of skills that you've acquired over time. There's a lot of good quotes in that movie, too. A lot of good quotes in that movie. I like the name that you came up with for it, Jeremy. I mean, come on. Who comes up with the term swamp broth? That is some epic greatness there. I've been talking about how my battery in my truck died on, let's see, Saturday morning? Yeah. Saturday morning. And you know, I can't begin to tell you how much happier I am and how much safer I feel knowing now that that truck battery did finally die. I mean, the thing was 10 years old. I thought about replacing it maybe even like 4 years ago, but it kept testing good, testing good. It wasn't losing cold cranking amps, nothing. So, I mean, you don't replace it until you need to replace it. But then you just kind of get that feeling like, you're probably going to get stuck somewhere. But it's kind of nice not having that thought in the back of my head now. Dan, I think a 20-pound channel cat sounds fantastic. I don't think that there could be much of a better goal for this evening. I like where your head's at, man. Wow, we've almost been going for an hour. I mean, that's like cool but terrible, but cool. Huh, time just flies. I think I fell asleep one time here. And I mean, like, in the last, 30 minutes. Sometimes bank fishing is just so peaceful and calm, kind of boring. You just get sleepy. Yeah, knowing a battery guy is a good thing too, Brian. Yeah, I went into the store, told the kid who I was, what I do for Interstate, and gave me a team member discount. So that was nice. Helped a lot. I guess having your truck battery go out on a day where it's like 85 degrees and breezy, probably better than a day where it's like 25 below and breezy. Yep. All these reasons why I shouldn't complain. Hey, something rocked that rod. Number one. Hello. Hello, fish. Yes, please continue. All your adoring fans would like to see you. Yeah, circle hook, so I shouldn't get all crazy. Wait, actually, it's a triple threat. Come on, hook thine self. Royal fish. Probably some tiny little thing. Come on, fish. Fishy, fishy. I love it when Chris and J-Dog do that. That just cracks me up every time. Maybe still there, goofing around with it. That's a double hook rig, so he has 2 worms to eat, not just one. Two worms, 2. He also has 2 hooks that he might actually accidentally impale himself upon them. Or he's just going to steal them all. Like the last 5 times that I put bait on that. I love it though. I'm so desperate for a fish and standing up. I'm ready. This might be like a 4-ounce largemouth bass, and I'm ready. Bring on the breed cart. Actually, it's probably just a big bluegill. It's like, man, look at this dope who's using this big hook. That ain't gonna catch me. pushes the hook aside, quickly and swiftly removes the worm from the hook. I'm not getting negative, y'all. I'm actually loving it. I'm actually loving the fact that the rod actually moved. I cannot believe that we don't have any ambitious, slightly dumb carp down here. I mean, seriously, where are the dumb carp? The carp that just hook themselves and just go. Until I retrieve the line crank by crank. Then they're like, hey man, what am I doing on the bank? Yeah, whatever this is, it's very little. Come on, get big. Get big quick. Grow up quick. Get big quick. Excuse me. These allergies, man, just seems like I blow my nose, clear my throat, and just keep doing it over and over and over again. I don't even know how Kevin and I got through a podcast on Sunday. Oh, 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 oh. Come on. Come on, hook yourself. I don't care if you hook yourself in the tail by accident. Hook yourself. Yeah, it just all made good sense. But yet, I don't know. Maybe I should have been here earlier, or maybe I should be here way later. But it's a lovely breeze, Mexigato. It's a lovely breeze. We got rods in the water. We got a chance. We got a chance. Yep. Still got a little bit of Nightcrawler to clean off that double hook rig. Fishy, fishy. Well, you don't have too much to be jealous of, other than the fact that I'm not at work, but because I haven't caught anything. Should have went pond fishing. Vicious bluegill. No, Willow. We have yet to hook a fish. We've just been watching them slowly but surely clean night crawlers off of all the hooks and avoid hooking themselves on the hair rigs that I have out. They've just been slapping it around a little bit. Are we getting more serious? Or did a bird fly into the line? No, it wasn't a bird. It wasn't a bird. Could have been, but it wasn't. Hey, Josh, we're just sitting here watching these same little fish peck all the nightcrawler off rod 3 here. Rods 1 and 2 are set up with some pack bait and some hair rigs and floating boilies, and nada in this location. Nothing has touched them. Little wiggle earlier this session, but nothing. Yeah, it's not really a river. It is a. Let me pick this up and show you. We have a spillway behind me here. And then that feeds in, goes through this channel, and then connects to that reservoir that I was fishing earlier. So kind of yes and kind of no, but yes. Yep, budgets, man. We all got to follow them. Somehow or another. Yeah, you'd think so. Just happens to not be at the moment. Nope, still no dishes done yet. Not gonna get any dishes done either. Not until I pick up the kids. Lauren will be out of school in an hour and 40 minutes. I mean, I probably could pack up, go home, and start some of the dishes, but then I'd have to walk out the door pretty quickly after. But definitely, if we don't catch something, or if something doesn't miraculously land on this hook, I will for sure be ending this live very soon. One thing to show people a bunch of fish. It's another thing just to show them 3 rods standing up in the air doing nothing. I mean, sure, the Whisker Seeker here bounced a little bit. And in the last one, we had lots of bouncing rods. But we are here for fish. What's up, Al? Starting to think the first rod's probably been picked clean. Because it's no longer bouncing. It was amusing. You know? Plus, let's face it, if we go anywhere, that night crawler is going to come off that hook. So, probably better that the fish actually do that for me than me have to, do that myself. Consider that a professional courtesy from the fish to us. Man, these birds make funny noises. Must be like a bird gang turf war about to happen around here or something. They're chirping at each other. No, I don't have people to my right. I did throw this rod with the double hook, double worm rig way over there to the right. which is probably why it got some activity. But no, man, I'm getting kind of bored. Fishing's one thing, not catching is another. Yeah, Uncle Lou, we're gonna have to go somewhere. I can do whatever I want tomorrow. Gonna be busy the rest of the day and tonight as the blonde bomber is set to return to the T-ball diamond. Hopefully she's feeling up to it. She's feeling a little run down. She had a skin reaction to the antibiotics she was on. So now we got her on Zyrtec and kids Benadryl. Zyrtec during the day, kids Benadryl at night. She was all red and splotchy all over the place. It was sad. Too much going on there. But they said it's a pretty normal reaction to antibiotics. But it didn't actually even occur until the 7th day. It's like, huh. And they're like, nope, that's normal. Didn't slow her down too much. I mean, the meds have. The meds have slowed her down a little bit, but other than that, she's still 100% spirit, 100% sass. So, yeah, she was so mad at me for doing the whole first game line. And maybe I should have done that backwards. Maybe I should have. What's up, Jody? Maybe I should have done it the other way. Maybe I should have just taken short little video clips in the first few games. And like the last game that they played, Lauren's team was so short-handed they didn't even have any outfielders. They could only had enough to play the bases, the fielding position of a catcher, because they don't, they're hitting it off a tee, so they don't actually, or pitch, so they fielding off a tee, so they don't actually pitch, and a catcher. And the other team had enough that they could put 4 people into their outfield and everybody else, and they had people on the bench. So it's just like, why don't you at least offer to have like your team permanently provide the catcher, so then that way we could have one outfielder. But I don't know if that's against the rules or not. But T-ball rules are kind of different. And I mean, okay, but I don't know. You figure at that point, it's 91 degrees outside. You figure the other team would help a little bit, but they did not. And maybe it's against the rules. I don't know. Oh, look, there's a carp that jumped down there. Don't know why anybody would bother jumping when they could go down there and just start eating. I would rather eat than jump. Why'd you put a hole in a pontoon, Jody? That doesn't sound like that was a good idea. So I guess that means you got to find someone who knows how to weld aluminum, huh? Excuse me. Yep, that's true, Jody. Yeah. I see a fish jump down there, and next thing you know, I got something stuck in my throat. Well, it's okay. It's okay to join the ranks of the bank fishers, bank anglers for a while, Jody. Back in action. But yeah, with uh, I agree with Dan. Definitely find someone who's really good at that kind of stuff. Or you get you a can of Flex Seal. I've seen it on TV. There's a fantastic infomercial about it. It seals everything. They make a tape, a nice thick tape. You could just slap that to the pontoon. It'll cover it up and everything will be fine. Well, you sucker all these people into all these side bets too. Oh, hello, carp. Fantastic jump. Good job, Audie. Do you happen to be hungry? No, not so much. Okay, that's what I thought. Been out fishing since like 7:30. Doesn't appear that anybody's too passionate about eating this morning. Yeah, I mean, if you can sucker all these people into side bets, certainly you can just be nice and get the work approved, or you go the Flex Seal route. I'm a big fan of those commercials and infomercials. This crazy dude cut a boat in half, and then he Flex Seal glued it back together. I mean, it's a commercial. They wouldn't lie to us in a commercial. Maybe. Well, my sniffling continues. My head is starting to hurt. I think I need some Benadryl. Dan's got a concrete truck there. He's going to be busy for a while. Jody's a bank angler. Mexicat's working and telling me that I made the right moves and I'm in the right spot, yet I still can't catch fish. So I think these are all signs that it's time to shut this live down. So that was the last straw that did it right there, is that concrete truck. You know, concrete never lies. I'm just, man, there is a jumping car. Dude, you're jumping right over the bait. I mean, directly above it. Perhaps you should take a look at what's on the bottom. Yeah. I actually thought that the white one would work better here because the water's a little muddy, a little murky. Nope, not yet. Still playing the waiting game. Really? That is awesome. The other day I was thinking to myself that I needed to get some of that for some reason, and I can't remember what or why. So again, sad times, you know. Used to have a great memory, not so much anymore. Pretty selective, but I cannot remember why it was that I wanted to get a can of that stuff. Oh, now I remember. I have a small scratch in my tonneau cover on the back of my truck, and I thought, you know, maybe I should get some of that, and maybe it would actually work. That's why I wanted that. I think I actually need the Flex Seal tape, though. If I could just roll it up to that point, find that, put the tape on the inside, and then hopefully it would help prevent letting any moisture get in there. Or I could just man up and buy a new one, but you know, $450, eh. You know, Jody, I don't think there's anything wrong having a face full of cake, especially if it's because somebody gave you a nice swat on the butt, you know. Some people just don't know how to have a good time, you know. They just don't know how to enjoy life. You can't hold that against yourself. Well, folks, we are about to crest the 90-minute mark. So I will thank you all for your patronage, your continued support through these slow and or non-existent bites / fake downs. Appreciate it. I'm definitely going to go find some Benadryl and pick the kids up, get on those dishes. So thanks for joining in on the anticipation and the fun. You certainly made my morning better, and I appreciate you all. Thank you. catch you on the next one, which will be tomorrow.